One would think that libraries are simply a place to borrow books. No, what are you thinking? Public libraries in Victoria, funded by all Victorian taxpayers, have become the latest ideological battleground. They actually sell t-shirts with nice messages on them, such as Big Summer Read, that's nice, promoting reading over summer, and Libraries Change Lives, another nice message, this time with a rainbow pattern. I'll just take it at face value and assume it doesn't have any ulterior meaning. This is their Facebook page. Are you a rainbow family in the northern suburbs of Melbourne? Could you spare an hour or two to support our Rainbow Libraries project? I'm not exactly sure what that is, but there's a lot going on about rainbows. Here's a little kid playing some rainbow chimes. Here's an Aboriginal boy with an iPad. This makes it a bit clearer. Pride in Our Future, Victoria's LGBTIQ+ strategy 2022 to 2032. Their website has an Early Years Handbook because, the first years of a child's life are vital to their development. So, of course, they've got programming for First Nations, programming for rainbow families, programming for cultural diversity. They'll program your child before you know it. You can access the Early Years Handbook here. Oh, it's a lovely read. Of course, they've got the obligatory principles for being socially inclusive. Things like respect for diversity, equity and inclusion. This may include Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander families, refugee and migrant families, children with disabilities and, of course, LGBT families. Noting, some of these families may not feel welcome. Does anybody know any library in Australia who has refused entry to somebody based on their gender or sexuality in the last 50 years? Exactly what problem are they trying to solve here? But let's get back to the Early Years Handbook. What else do we need to teach children in the public library? Oh, that's right. While their brains are still developing, we need to teach them about drag queens, a vital skill for all 3-year-olds. Mummy, why is that man wearing a dress? Shut up and listen to the story. Here's some top books chosen by your publicly funded librarians. Classics such as The Girl with Two Dads, Jamie and Bubby, a book about people's pronouns, and of course the highly rated Love Makes a Family, where on page 1 the kids wake up their two dads. Those cheeky rascals. Other great titles for your 5-year-old son: My First Book of Feminism, for boys. How else would we teach our sons about feminism? And of course, Pink is for boys. What other colour could a boy possibly like? But in case those book titles were a little bit too subtle for you, here's a couple that are a bit more obvious. He's My Mum, a story for children who have a transgender parent or relative. And of course, the highly acclaimed companion book, She's My Dad. Yes, I'm as confused as you are. But there seems to be something missing from the Early Years Handbook. Don't worry, the Victorian government have corrected the situation. Minister for Equality, Harriet Ching, officially launched the Rainbow Libraries Toolkit a week or so ago, with the minister stating, "We will always back our LGBTIQA+ communities as we work to build a state where all people, regardless of their sexuality or gender identity, can live wholly and freely." Local Government Minister Melissa Horne stated, "The Rainbow Libraries Toolkit ensures that all Victorians, regardless of identity, have a place in our public libraries, because libraries are a space that everyone should be able to access." Again, I ask, does anybody know any library in Australia who has refused entry to somebody based on their gender or sexuality in the last 50 years? What are they exactly trying to solve here? I cannot seem to find a copy of the publicly funded Rainbow Libraries Toolkit, but according to media reports, the kit recommends library staff ask kids as young as 5 about their gender pronouns. It advises libraries to add more books on gender diversity, to promote drag queen story events, and to avoid using gendered language. Specifically, it says, "It is also important to recognise that, especially for young people, gender identity and sexuality can shift or evolve over time. Children in particular may want to experiment with different gender expressions through dressing up, and we can support them by avoiding mapping our expectations of gender onto them." I don't care what people do as consenting adults, but these are our primary school-aged children they are trying to indoctrinate, using taxpayer money to boot. They claim they are creating a safe place for everyone in the community, But they must know that many people don't support this. Dare I say, most people don't support this. So they're not actually creating a peaceful environment. They're actually creating the opposite. They're creating disharmony in society. Libraries were always open to everybody, but now they've become a divisive place. Is nowhere sacred anymore?